Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Double TF. Today we'll be looking at the best individual performances that we've seen in the Premier League history. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. So I have 6-7 seasons that I'd like to discuss with you guys. There is no Thierry Henry, just a little disclaimer. I left it on purpose because I felt like he'd probably take 4 of the 7 people, given the fact that he's had like 5-6 top seasons. I think this list will start from 2007. We're just going to pick the best individual performances from 2007 up to 2022. The honorable mentions though, it's going to be Eden Hazard, 2014-2015, one of the best individual performances that we've seen but did not make the list. KDB, 16-17, which is one of my favorite KDB performances, and 1920 KDB when he broke or equaled Thierry Henry's record. It also did not make the list. We have Didier Drogba, 09-010, the season when Chelsea actually needed to win the league after United had won it 3 times in a row. Drogba inspired Chelsea, scoring 29 goals and 10 assists in 32 games, which helped Chelsea win the Premier League. Also in that season, forming one of the best or the most devastating partnership with Frank Lampard, who also scored 22 goals and provided 14 assists. So that's also one of the best individual seasons we've ever seen, but it's also an honorable mention. But without further ado, let's start with the first person that we want to honor or talk about the best individual season that he had. That is Erling Haaland. The season that we just saw 2 seasons ago, which was 2022-2023 season, that saw Haaland breaking the Premier League record for goal scoring in one season, scoring 36 goals, providing 8 assists, breaking a record like Andy Cole that was set in 1993. Listen, that season Haaland was clinical in display. Like, that was clinicality in display. He showed us what it's like, because the football now, before Haaland basically, especially with the Pep influenced, Pep having won a Premier League without like the proven number 9, Klopp or having dominated the Premier League, Champions League without the proven number 9, without the goals from number 9. Erling Haaland came and transformed Man City through his goals, through finishing the chances that they've been creating. He influenced coaches to go in the market and look for the out and out number 9, someone who's going to bury the chances. So, I mean, people have different opinions when it comes to Haaland. People have split opinion. I never really understand why. I understand, I guess, if football purists would appreciate more other aspects of the game. They want him to be more involved. They want him to drop deep. They want him to make players around him better. I get a lot of concern, guy. But we can never take away from the fact that Haaland broke the Premier League record that's been standing for more than 20 years. So that alone, that season was revolutionary from Erling Haaland. I'm certain we have never seen a level of goal scoring of that level ever for Premier League. That season, hat-tricks after hat-tricks, hat-tricks after hat-tricks. He influenced Man City into a treble, something that's never achieved before. That was one of the best individual seasons we've ever seen. All factors considered. I mean, I get, but you'd have a preference on the strikers. I get it. Like, you'd prefer a familiar type, but what Haaland did in that season is one of the best individual performances. He took the league by a storm. From the first game after the Community Shield, when he missed and started laughing, from the first game up until the last, he was devastating, scoring goals after goal. He was a goal machine, Haaland. So I'd like us to acknowledge that season, 2022-2023 Haaland, as one of the best Premier League seasons we've ever seen. Another player that I'd like us to look into and appreciate their brilliance during this season is Gareth Bale in 2011-2012 season, when he took the league by the storm. 2 seasons prior this season, Gareth Bale had won the Premier League Player of the Season. As a left back, as a flying left back, Gareth Bale, he came on as a devastating left back in 2010, 2011, I think, when he won the Premier League. He was still a young boy then. Then 2 seasons later, he was a flying winger. one of the most devastating sights the Premier League has ever seen from a wing player. Gareth Bale, 2011, 2012. That, to me, that was the first time actually I've ever watched a winger, and I say coaches have no solutions for him. They had no solutions for Gareth Bale. There was no way to stop Gareth Bale. Literally, it was impossible stopping Gareth Bale because he had too many ways of scoring a goal. He could hit you in a million ways, Bale. He'd go from the left wing and score from that side. Right wing, destroy from that side. Move centrally, kill you from that side. In transition, he could collect a ball from his own box, Bale, run all the way to the opposition, score, create a chance, free kicks, headers, long range, short range. That is one of the most complete performances from a winger we've ever seen. Gareth Bale, la move even ending 100 million move to Madrid. He was devastating, breaking a record that stood from Cristiano Ronaldo. He was devastating. Bale that season, statistically, he scored 21 goals and provided 4 assists in 33 games. At that time, we didn't know any wingers popular except for Cristiano Ronaldo that would give us those numbers. Bale was a scary sight. If you don't know that season, please just go on YouTube, search Bale 2011 and 2012. You will see that is one of the most devastating sights we've ever seen. Now, I'm not saying he's the best winger I've ever seen, but in terms of sending that fear factor on the opposition, devastation, he was insane. Gareth Bale. That is one of the personally, that is one of my favorite seasons to ever see from a player, like an opposition player. That was a scary sight to Gareth Bale 2011, 2012. To me, like I said, it's one of my favorite seasons. Also because it wasn't just about the numbers that Bale scored, but the level of impact he had on the Spurs. Even to this day, I still believe if Bale didn't get injured and miss out on the games that he missed out, the Spurs would have made top 4 because they only missed out in top 4, I think, by 1 point from suffering from Arsenal to Arsenal, basically. If Bale had played the games that he's played with the performances that he had, he would have helped the Spurs qualify for the Champions League. At the time when the Spurs were the least favourites to qualify for the Champions League, that season was one of the most devastating sights from a winger that we've ever seen. Uncontrollable. You couldn't control Bale that season, Leana. He was a beast. I mean this in every sense of this word. He was a beast to Bale. Pace, strength, power, set piece, goals, leadership. He was incredible. He, by far, Gareth Bale deserved to be player of the season that season. He was by far the best player that season. Another season that I'd like us to look into and appreciate is Mohamed Salah 17-18 season. I'm sure we all remember the season. We were here, we saw it, and we know exactly what we saw. Mohamed Salah's first season in the Premier League, when he broke a record that was set by Cristiano Ronaldo in 2007-2008 by scoring 32 goals and providing 10 assists. That season, it was his first season. That season was transformational in many sense when it comes to the wingers and what to expect from the wingers in the Premier League. Because before Mo Salah, I do think that goals were more reliant on number 9. The wingers were there to support by adding a chunk of goals just to support the strikers. But when Mo Salah came into the Premier League, he changed that mindset. Even by managers, if you look at current footballers, the current best goal scorers in the world right now, you'd see that except for Haaland and Lewandowski being exception, but most of them would be wingers. Arsenal has Saka scoring all the goals. Liverpool still has Mo Salah. Chelsea has Cole Palmer. It's a pattern of Vinicius, Leao. Like Mo Salah changed the scope of the wingers based off the output. He became the output machine. That season alone, Liverpool finished 4th in that season, right? But he was undoubtedly the best player in the Premier League, even by finishing 4th. He dominated the Premier League. Goals galore, game after game. Big game, small game, games that matter. Mo Salah would turn up, scoring from the wing, from the inside, dribbling. He was brilliant. If by any chance you don't know that season, you have to watch it. That is one of the most efficient seasons we've ever seen. The consistency of Mo Salah throughout the 38 games was just brilliant. And it's actually it's actually amazing that he continued afterwards, because a band would think that, okay, fine, you had this good season, but you were expected to fall off. Salah continued with that, as is still continuing today. But that one season, 17-18, was one of the best individual seasons we've ever seen. Scoring 32 goals, assisting 10 times. It was magnificent. When Salah came into the league, right? Yeah, he was previously, according to some, a flop, Chelsea. But he went to Roma. Okay, he went to Roma. He played brilliant. He transformed himself, and then he rejoined Liverpool. People were complaining about the price tag. I was thinking 35 million might be too much for a Chelsea flop. He came in, he dominated. He left no opposition against Man City, against Arsenal, against Chelsea. He was just a goal-scoring machine. That from that point on, managers now have prioritized signing new wingers that will give them goals more than on number 9, because of what Mo Salah did in that season. That is one of the best individual seasons we've ever seen, hands down. Now, let's look at another brilliant season from a Man City general. One of the best midfield display that we've ever seen in the Premier League, by Yaya Touré. 13-14 season, when he helped Man City win a Premier League. That was a carry job by a midfield maestro. Now, when we talk about N'Golo Kante, people often ask themselves, is he good as a center mid? Is he good as a defensive mid? It's always, Kante always raises this argument between a band about Kante, is he good as a center mid or defensive mid? But Yaya Touré, that season in particular, he was a midfield. He was not a center mid, he was not a defensive mid, he was not a number 10, he was a midfield. Pellegrini would play Yaya Touré as a number 10 for like 25 minutes. Whenever he needs a goal, like he'd play Yaya Touré as a number 10. Yaya Touré would destroy in midfielders, in defenders. He'd come up with a goal. Then from the Pellegrini would play Yaya Touré as CTM to protect the goal that he just scored. And you can't dribble past him, and you can't take the ball off him. It was one of the most complete midfielders. If we talk about just one season, Yaya Touré might be the best midfielder we've ever seen in the Premier League. Based off that season, it was one of the most complete individual seasons from a midfield. He was not a 6, he was not an 8, he was not a 10, he was just a midfield. He scored 20 goals and he had 9 assists in that season. Yaya Touré, playing from, you could say from deep, because it was more like a center mid. But whenever a Man City needed a rescuing, you could see the type of goal he was scoring. He would carry a ball from deep, carry it all the way to the final third, play a pass, finish it off, or even just dribble past defenders, because he was that big, so he could bulldoze his way into a goal. That was what you call a dominance from a midfield. The type of goals he was scoring, free kicks outside the box. For him, it looked so easy. I've never seen anything like that. Man City got Yaya Touré from Barcelona, and he was playing as a defender, then centre back for 2 seasons from Barcelona. Man City took him. Mancini signed him, played him. Man City, they won a league. When Mancini was leaving, Man City, he said, I need Yaya Touré so that I can win a league where I'm going. That's all I need, Yaya Touré, so that I can win a league. And he was going to Italy at that time. So that I can win a league with Yaya Touré. If I have this one player, I will win a league, I promise. But the player can nope, I need the player to win a league now up. And Yaya Touré did exactly that. He was by far the best player for Man City. It's so right to say Man City was carried by a player, by the way, because they have a lot of good players. But that season, Yaya Touré alone, he carried that Man City club. His performances, especially in the run-in, were just ridiculous. Every game week, Yaya Touré would come up with a spectacular, would come up with a man of the match type of performances. Brilliant season. If from the top of my head right now, that might be the best performance from a midfield, performance season from a midfield from the top of my head. Obviously, I need to think about it. I've never seen anything like that. It's like, I can't even profile him. I can't say he was a defensive midfielder. I can't say he was an 8. I can't say he was a 10. He was just a complete dribbling, carrying the ball, passing, the type of passes Yaya Touré. Yeah, the type of passes that we see from Kate, I'm not even lying. The type of passes that we are seeing from Kevin De Bruyne, as passes that Yaya Touré was doing, as the exact same passes from the side, from the wing, as a crosses, those good crosses. That was Yaya Touré. Passes from deep, scoring, ball striking ability, 10/10. Runs from deep, transition, carrying the ball from. He was magnificent, Yaya Touré. What he did for Pellegrini that season, we will never forget it. That is by far one of the best individual performances we've ever seen from a player, period. But Yaya Touré did not win the player of the season that season. As brilliant as he was, as good as he was, Yaya Touré did not win the player of the season that season. And it was not a robbery. And it was not a robbery. It was not a robbery. Yaya Touré did not deserve to win the player of the season that season. Everything I've just said right now, everything I've just said, these facts, Yaya Touré gave us one of the best individual season, but he was not the player of the season that season. Because the player of the season that season was Luis Suárez, who gave us even a better performance than Yaya Touré that season. That particular season, Luis Suárez gave us a better performance than Yaya Touré that season. Some, to most, I think, would say that alone stands above any other individual performance we've ever seen from any player ever in the Premier League. And I'm sure most Premier League fans or Premier League lovers would come into agreement that Luis Suárez season 2013-2014 is the best individual season the Premier League has ever seen. He was. That is, Luis Suárez, let me give you context to those who don't remember. Luis Suárez, the previous season, he got into a situation with Ivanovic. He beat Ivanovic. So he was suspended for 9 games. So I think he beat him 3 games towards the end of last season, or 4 games. So he was suspended leading into the new season. So he did not play the first 5 games last season, Liana. So he missed that. So he had to play catch up. He only played 33 games last season, or 32 games last season. He scored 31 goals, Luis Suárez. He scored 31 goals and provided, I need to first check it, but he provided more than 10 assists that season, Suárez. Forget the goals, let's talk about performances. That was people, obviously, you guys know Suárez. I mean, you've seen Suárez from Barcelona, you know what he formed with MSN, Suárez name, MSN, Barcelona, the treble that he's won. That was the beginning of what would grow to see on Suárez. The complete performances from a number 9 striker. They were in Liverpool fans had this banner by Luis Suárez that Luis Suárez would nutmeg, meme it, basically. That was him. You open your legs, that's a ball through your legs. Simple as that, and it finished. He was cheeky with it. Like, I've never seen it. Suárez was a cheeky striker. He would hat-trick Old Trafford against United. Newcastle, one of my favorite goals ever. One of my favorite goals ever. It's not a basket kick by Ronaldo. It's not Ankara Messi. It's Luis Suárez against Newcastle. Because of the audacity to even attempt into danger. It's a ball. Luis Suárez. I don't know if you guys remember this goal. You remember it, but it was a chest trap, first touch around the goalkeeper in one crazy Luis Suárez. His hat tricks against Norwich, the type of goals he missed, Luis Suárez that season. That season alone, it's actually crazy that is not even Luis Suárez's best. Anyways, that's besides the point. Let me just say it. It's not even Luis Suárez's best season ever. Yeah, that's not his best season. He went on to have another better season with Barcelona, but in the Prem, in Liverpool, unfortunately, they did not win the league last season. Yeah, unfortunately, we all know what happened, right? Last situation and they dropped points against Swansea when they leading 3. That's the point. But Liverpool just missed out on the title. That would have, if Liverpool had won the league that season, we would never have experienced another carry job like that. Suárez was by far above any other Liverpool. Suárez was performing at 100. His second Liverpool player would be like at a 60. Would have been Sturridge or Sterling, performing at a 60. The gap between Yena and another second best player in Liverpool was just huge. I've never seen anything like that. Game week in, week out. Okay, listen. Most seasons, right? You would see that best players have gray areas because Suárez and I had them. To be honest, I don't want to make it like a perfect season. he didn't really do much against the big boys, like the big games. He wasn't really that influential. But anything other than that, he was a brilliant season. So I'm not even talking about, I'm just saying the complete performances from a striker. The way he was just cheeky. Suárez was a cheeky boy. That's the one word I can describe him. He was cheeky. The way he turned defenders, the way he created goals out of nothing, the type of goals he scored, his headers, his dribbles, the way he manipulated the ball, the way he just played toy with the defenders. That is one of the best, if not the best performance we've ever seen in the Premier League. Just look at the way that I've described his season, Yaya Touré. And the fact that I'm telling you now, he did not deserve to win the Premier League that season because of Suárez. That season is ridiculous. We had a debate, obviously, about that season. That Suárez season is by far the best individual season, one of the best individual seasons we've ever seen. It was just magnificent. I just wish you were there to witness. If you were not there, I'm sorry, you missed out. That was total football. Like, that was football in display. Striker's performance in display. Like Suárez, he showed no weakness as a striker like last season. Every type of goal, he was just brilliant, man. That season, Luis Suárez, that season will forever be quoted. Brilliant season, and he deserved to be player of the season. Like Nyaganovan, as good as Yaya Touré was, Luis Suárez deserved to be player of the season that year. Now let's look into the last individual performance that I'd like us to talk about today. And this to me is my favorite or the best. I think this is the best individual performance we've seen in the Premier League. I think it's better than the Suárez one that I just mentioned. I think so. I think it's better. And I'm hopeful I can give reasons that will make sense. This is 2007-2008 Cristiano Ronaldo Manchester United season. This is the best individual season. This is the best individual display we've ever seen in the Premier League, hands down. And I'm not even going to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo and the Zame and try to paint him. You guys know all about Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm just going to try and talk about this season, basically. This is a complete performance, or this is a complete display of a winger with no weaknesses. Let me give you this context a bit. Chelsea had just won 2 titles in a row. Chelsea just won 2 titles in a row, and after that they went on to spend money. Chelsea were meant to dominate the Premier League. I'm not even lying. They went to spend money. They signed Shevchenko, Balak. You could look at the transfer window at Chelsea around that time, but they went on to spend money. Everyone knew that Chelsea would go on to dominate the Premier League ever, but they did not. Manchester United went on to win the Premier League title 3 times in a row. 3 times. Chelsea had won it twice, and they spent all the money, Chelsea, just to make sure that they dominate for the next coming years. But they did not smell it. They did not touch it. Man United won it 3 times. That second season, we saw a boy transform into a man right in front of our eyes. Ronaldo, previous Ronaldo was like an entertainer, right? We all loved him. He was a good dribbler, he was entertaining. But I saw, I see the song like I kiss I need to be a killer. That one summer he came back and it just was a destroyer. That is the definition of an unstoppable person. Ronaldo that was the beginning of him. And we've never seen a player move from a good player, a great player, to a superstar. There's always steps. You move from a good player, a great player, a world-class player, a world-class player. Then Ronaldo moved from a good player in the 06-07 to a superstar, the best player in the world at that time in 07-08 in one season. There was no doubt in anyone's mind that we were watching the best player in the world in that one season, 07-08. He broke all the records. He won all the accolades. He carried United into a Premier League title, Ronaldo. The dribbles, it was impossible to stop him. He would, similar things that I said to Bale, right? He would go to the right-hand side. He'd kill you on the side. He'd kill you on that side. Because he can go on the outside, on the inside. He can use his right foot as good and as well as he can use his left foot. He would drift to the left-hand side. He would go central. He can use good with his head. He can kill you from far from a goal. He'll beat you in transition because he was fast. He was devastating fast. He was a set-piece genius. He would score free kicks. There was no way to stop that young boy. There was no way. That season in particular, he scored 31 goals that season. 31 goals that season, yeah. As a winger, as a touchline winger, Ronaldo. He wasn't playing number 9. He was a touchline winger. The performance, there was no way. Coaches and managers couldn't develop a solution to stop that boy because it was something they'd never seen before. Those performances in 07, 08 were brilliant. He led United to a Premier League and a Champions League. They could have won a treble that season. I think they lost against Wigan. If I'm correct, with FA Cup, they could have won a treble that season. Yeah, Ronaldo was above every footballer on earth at that particular season. It was just devastating. That, to me, is one of the best display of an individual brilliance from a player. I've given you guys at least, I think, 7 names that had a brilliant season. But that one, the Ronaldo, when you watched that season, you had no. Now, when you were watching Drogba, for example, you thought, damn, Drogba is having a good season. When you were watching Hazard, you thought, yeah, Hazard is having a good season. When you watched Mo Salah, you thought, yo, Mo Salah is actually better than we thought. He's having a good season. So every other player. When you watch Ronaldo, you said, yep, this is the best player in the world that I'm watching here. There was no doubt in anyone's mind. The way he dominated this Premier League, it was just in a way that no one has ever seen before. Like, I'm telling you, that 708 Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the best versions we've seen of a player, of a wing player taking all the responsibility of a centre forward. He scored every type of goal, in every game, big games, small games. The way he was devastating, his pace, the way he was. Also, he didn't lose the element of entertainment. He'd keep on entertaining the players. He was just like, he was transforming to that superstar level that we've gone on to see as in Madrid. Yes, that was the beginning of that. It was just brilliant season. It was just a brilliant season. I just think it stands above every other season I've seen personally. I don't know, maybe you guys do have other seasons that I did not count. You can just let me know down in the comments your best individual seasons. But to me, these are my best individual seasons, or my favorite seasons that I've watched in the Premier League. I've tried to be as inclusive as I can. I've named most seasons that I can remember from the top of my head. If you have any season that you think that I should have mentioned, or you know that you felt this type of way, Galo player in that particular moment, you can just let me down. But to me, these are the best individual seasons we've ever seen. That's been it, guys. That's been it. These are the best individual seasons that we've ever watched. Please let me know down in the comments your favorite seasons, on the ones that I've mentioned or the ones that I've not mentioned. I mean, I'm sure Nani has seasons there that you've enjoyed from your players. Maybe Van Dijk 18-19 or Alexis Sanchez. I don't know. Just let me know down in the comments your favorite seasons. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We are growing. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Thank you.